Hey, I'm Chloe, and when you look at me, you'll see a normal teenager. But what you don't see is that I'm aging rapidly inside. Doctors have given me only a few years to live. How am I supposed to enjoy life when death is so close? Well, let me tell you my story. Growing up, I'd always been the sickly kid. I caught every bug that went around, and I felt tired and achy most of the time. But it wasn't until my 13th birthday that things took a terrifying turn. My best friend, Jenny, and I were at my birthday party, laughing and dancing to our favorite tunes. Suddenly, I started to feel lightheaded, and I collapsed on the floor. Jenny was the first to reach me. "Chloe, are you okay?" she shouted, her eyes wide with concern. I tried to reassure her, but I couldn't catch my breath. I don't know," I gasped. My parents rushed me to the hospital, where I went through countless tests. The doctors finally diagnosed me with a rare genetic disorder called Progeria. The disorder causes my body to age at a much faster rate than normal. They said that I might not even make it to my 20th birthday. I was devastated. How could I enjoy my teenage years if I didn't even know if I'd be around for them? Back at school, I tried to keep my condition a secret. But eventually, people found out. Some kids were sympathetic, but others started treating me like I was contagious. They'd whisper behind my back and avoid me in the hallways. Jenny was the only person who stuck by me through it all. "You're still Chloe, no matter what," she said firmly one day when I broke down in tears. "And I'm always gonna be here for you." She kept her promise. Whenever I was feeling down or scared about my future, Jenny would remind me to focus on the present. "We can't control what's going to happen," she'd tell me, "but we can control how we live our lives right now, so let's make the most of it." Together, we made a bucket list of all the things we wanted to do before I turned 20. It had everything from trying exotic foods to learning how to skateboard. We started crossing items off the list one by one. Jenny even convinced our parents to let us take a trip to Paris, where we visited the Eiffel Tower and ate more croissants than I could count. But as much as I loved our adventures, my health continued to decline. One day, when I was 17, I woke up with a terrible pain in my chest. I could barely breathe. My mom rushed me to the hospital. The doctors told me I had developed a heart condition, a common side effect of progeria. They said I'd need surgery if I wanted to keep living, but there were no guarantees that the surgery would be successful, and it could even make things worse. I was terrified. But I knew I had to try. After all, I had made a promise to Jenny that we'd make the most of our lives, and I wasn't ready to give up yet. The day of the surgery, Jenny held my hand as I was wheeled into the operating room. "You're going to be okay," she whispered. "I know you're strong enough to get through this." I squeezed her hand tightly. "Thank you," I murmured, my voice choked with emotion. "For everything." The surgery was a success, but my recovery was long and difficult. I spent weeks in the hospital with Jenny visiting me every day after school. She'd bring me books, movies, and even some of our favorite foods, trying to cheer me up and keep my spirits high. Slowly but surely, I started to regain my strength. I eventually made it home, where I continued my rehabilitation with the help of my loving family and my best friend. As I worked to rebuild my health, I realized that my attitude towards life had changed. Despite the uncertainty of my future, I no longer felt scared or hopeless. Instead, I felt grateful for every moment I had, and I became determined to make the most of it. Jenny and I continued to cross items off our bucket list, savoring each experience and cherishing our time together. I also started volunteering at the hospital where I had received my surgery, offering support and encouragement to other patients who were facing their own health challenges. One day, as Jenny and I sat in my favorite park, watching the sunset and reminiscing about our Paris adventure, I turned to her with a smile. "You know, I used to be terrified of dying," I admitted. "But now, I think I've learned that it's not about how long you live, but how you live your life." Jenny nodded, her eyes shining with tears. "You've taught me that too," she said softly. "And no matter what happens, I'm grateful for every moment we've had together." We sat there, hand in hand, watching the sky change colors as the sun dipped below the horizon. And even though I knew that my time might be limited, I felt a deep sense of peace and contentment. For the first time in my life, I truly understood what it meant to live in the present and appreciate every moment, no matter how fleeting. And that, I realized, was the greatest gift my rare disease could have given me. That's it. That was my story. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to not miss the next one. See you soon.